Om Ahum, 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 Urgyen Yogyen Objazan, Bima Yesan Dambol, Bima Juni Jesu Da, Gordo Gando Mangbo, Gigi Jesu Dado Ne, Jingi Lobje Jesu So, Guru Bima Siddhi Ho, Urgyen Yogyen Objazan, Bima Yesan Dambola, Yosen Jogi Ngoidam Ne, Bima Juni Jesu Da, Gordo Gando Mangbo, Gigi Jesu Dado Ne, Jingi Lobje Jesu So, Guru Bima Siddhi Ho, Urgen Yogi Nabjazan Bema Gyaza Dambala Yazan Jogi Ngudubne Bema Zuni Jesudan Kudo Kandra Mamako Kiki Jesu Dadubne Zingi Lobje Sosusun Guru Bema Siddhi Homa 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 Homa. Greetings and love from Lumbini Buddhist Art Gallery, Berkeley, California. This is Anil, and today I'm sharing something about this very interesting topic, the ego into eco. And when I heard that word first time, it really bring some kind of a automatically balance in my mind. And so I wanted to go live, and so I would like to welcome everyone on this live Facebook live. Before I proceed my talk, I would like to offer my flute to welcome everyone and be a part of this live. And if you have any question at the end, you can actually send it me message, or you can also write at the comment. This is just the flute is just an initiation to welcome everyone, and please let me know my sound quality. How is my sound quality doing, so that I know I am reaching out, because as you know, when you work on electronic, there's always a lot of things to learn. So today's topic I wanted to share with you all is this ego into eco. And we all know that we all have ego. Nobody can, I guess, nobody can escape from that identity, or having that title, as everyone have an ego. And so the practice of what I'm sharing with you today would be how we can transform that ego into eco. And somehow in this human evolution, we have kind of lost our way of alignment with the nature. So why this eco word? It seems very striking, and that's why there are many eco resort, there are many eco friendly restaurants, and many things. And so why it is very important, because over the evolution or revolution of the time, somehow we as a human being, we kind of lost our alignment with the mother nature. We kind of lost our connection. I don't know what happened. Maybe that is the echo that I'm sharing with you, that I want to probably how we can live more with the harmony with the mother nature, because that is our ultimate refuge. When we say refuge, we means like it's our mother, because it's the mother that who take care of us. So similarly, the nature is our ultimate refuge. It's our ultimate mother. All of the Buddhas or the god or goddesses, whatever that we follow in our life, it's all been nourished by this mother nature. So mother nature is our ultimate refuge. In the practice of Buddhism, we take refuge in the Buddha, we take refuge in the Dharma, we take refuge in the Sangha. Taking refuge in the Buddha means you taking refuge in your Buddha nature also. And taking refuge in the Dharma means the Dharma, the teachings of the enlightened beings. And taking refuge in the Sangha means taking refuge in the community. But what I'm sharing with you all is also what is our ultimate refuge. Is ultimate refuge is the nature. And that's why the word, this ego into eco, seems very appealing to me to share with you all, because it is the one of the fundamental a way of living is to align ourselves with the harmony with all things that exist in our life. So normally in the practice of the tantric Buddhism practice, there is nothing poison in the world. So what does that mean? It's you can basically use whatever that's going on in your life, the disturbance, emotions, the obstacles, the hindrance, and many things that you can actually use, you can transform that into ego. And whatever that pride, ego, anger, or many different this nature that we are going through in our life, we can also use that as an ego. That sometime one of this beautiful being gave me an example that says the peacock in the forest are very beautiful because the peacock eats the poison in the forest. The peacock kind of eat the poison. That's why it's beautiful. So for me, when I heard this word, the ego into eco, it suddenly struck me that is everyone in the world is going through some change, going through some problem, going through some transformation, going through some becoming. We all are becoming something. So whenever I see a child or children, that is our future. And for them, when we learn about, when we share about the eco, or how to transform the ego into eco, I mean, for a lot of people who have built ego for a long time, it's very hard. It's like what you call the steel, the iron. It's very difficult to kind of bend, whereas the children are kind of still very young. They can still be kind of shaped. the strong metal cannot bend. There is a stories that, example, in the time of a Buddha, there was a very cruel being named Angulimala exist, and uh, I will definitely answer all of the questions at the end of this live chat. But I wanted to share with you about this the cruel being that exists in the time of Buddha, named Angulimala, and he used to cut all the people's finger and kill and wear as a necklace, as a mala, as a necklace. And so suddenly he came across a Buddha at one day, and then ask, the cruel guy told Buddha that I'm gonna cut your finger and use as my mala, because that is, I need to complete 108 or something number that need to be complete to fulfill my aspiration, my wish, my vision. So he tried to cut the Buddha's figure, and Buddha gave a finger to Angulimala, but well, interestingly, Buddha was not scared, and because of that, he got kind of surprised that most of the time people are scared of this being who is cruel, but Buddha was not scared. But instead of that, Buddha said, "Why are you really, scared?" And this cruel guy kind of got surprised. What do you mean by I am scared? I'm very strong. I'm very powerful. I'm very this and that. Why I'm scared? And the Buddha said that it is you are trying to escape from your fear, or you are trying to escape from your fear, and so you are scared. And so and Buddha said, if you want, it's still possible. You can actually not be escape, and how to integrate that fear or running away into spiritual path. And the cruel guy kind of got really surprised and asking, like, is it still possible a cruel guy like me can transform or have some change, because this has never existed before. And he kind of Buddha said, yes, it's possible. And so after that, he took refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And according to the script, it is said that he attained arhat, which means free from the all worldly problem, or from the usually emotion disturbance emotions. He became arhat. So when I heard this the word ego into eco, I certainly feel very related, because everyone is going through some ego in this life. Ego of, as you maybe a lot of people that ego of possessing other countries, ego of possessing other beings, ego of proclaiming other people's land, and other animals. And sometimes I do feel like human beings, sometimes because of the ego, we think it's superior, and then we forget to become eco. There was a beautiful picture that ego is like in the center, and the ego is aligned with all beings. So all beings exist at the same time. We all exist at the same time. So the ego wants to take over. Like example, you want to say, you kill the animals, you take over other people's land, and many these things that are very ignorance. But at the same time, this is moved by the ego, which is positioning, which is identifying you as a superior. And so my topic of this life today is this ego, how we can transform this ego. And first of all, we have to really understand, when you go in the forest, there are these beautiful small plants, big plants, trees, and many things exist at the same time in a beautiful harmony. And as I said earlier, that somehow in this evolution of the time, we kind of forgot how we can be in the alignment with the nature. We build tall buildings. People have built a rocket to go to the moon and everything, but they are polluting. We are polluting the ocean, we are polluting our forest, we're polluting our water, we're making it privatize many things. So my question for you all also is, why do we need to pollute the water? Why do we need to destroy the forest? Why do we need to pollute the ocean? And why do we need to be superior from other beings? What is the key point there? Because I know many people are very spiritual, many people are very, very religious also, also, and believe in this god, that god, goddess, and whatever. There is many things that, because we exist in a different time. And I'm not saying that that the way I'm thinking is correct, or the way anybody. It's just my questions is, why do we what is happen, what is really happen in our life, that we identify ourselves as a superior being, and destroy the if you just walk around the forest and many things, there are many in the oceans and the rivers, and making a dam, and trying to find some logical sense that we want to protect, and this and that. Example, in this western world, there are, I mean, I don't know how many things, but there are almost like 100 different kind of a security that you want to have. Phone security, car security, home security, life security, I mean, business security. And there is like so many of security, that you become so like fearful, and because of that, you lose the connection of the security. And the lose of the connection means you want to protect your ego so much that that when it comes the time, it can. But as you know, that many time we build big walls and many different barriers, but the force of love, it's so strong. The force of the alignment is also so strong that it can break all the barriers. And the mother nature always tells us in their own way. Like example, there is a tsunami comes, people die, we die, we die, tsunami comes, and earthquake comes, and many things. That is also a very information. I'm not saying because of somebody die and it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a alignment. We all gonna die one day. We all gonna be a memory that I'm talking this. And also I wanted to take this little moment of us gratitude of this internet thing, that I'm able to send this information to whoever it's watching this. Just wanted to take this moment, but at the same time, I'm just questioning myself that what did happen in this human evolution, that we kind of we became so egoistic that we forgot to become equal. So I mean, answer lies within you. I'm not the person to give the answer, because each individual have their own process of their mind. But my question for you all is, what is you that you are doing to transform the ego into eco? And I'm sure everyone's have their own path. Maybe some people do this or that, but how do we are stepping? How do we are starting to transform those ego into eco? For me personally, I am more and more drawn to go to the nature. I'm more and more drawn to, to understand my own mind. I'm more and more drawn to make an offering. Usually I go to the nature and also do an offering, and also to appreciate, pay a gratitude to the mother nature that has been nourishing infinite beings. And because of, we block our ecosystem into ecosystem, and we are kind of destroying the forest, destroying the water, destroying all the elements. Remember that your ancestor and everyone in the future also, like if you have a children in your life, it is even more important if you have a children in your life, because they are the one who is going to be inherent or taking a resource from the elements. So if you are really a mother, if you are really a father or parents, you really have to also take more responsibility to let these elements, this earth, be more clean, so that the children can use it. Be in align with. And a lot of time it's really nice. I see very beautiful things that a lot of time the parents take them to camping and in the nature, and just to, it's when you look the little girl, little boy, when you see them in the nature, it's really beautiful. They play around, they play with the mud, they play with the water, they play with the trees and all that thing. This the curiosity, the joyful. A lot of time we block, and remember, when you say ego into eco, that does not separate the joyful state of mind. When you go in the, when you, a lot of people in the West, they do surfing. I'm from Nepal, so of course we don't have a ocean to surf, but I've been to a ocean, and right now I'm in California. I see people go to surf in the ocean, and it's very beautiful. It's really nice to feel that water elements. But at the same time, what we are doing to the ocean, it's also really. I see last time when I was walking by, people do a lot of beach party or anything, or the river party. Then after the next day, there's a lot of this garbage that are there. Like many things. Same thing, few things happening in my country, in the Everest region, where people go climb the Everest mountain, and then they leave the stuff into the mountain. So there is a project going on that's for cleaning, also. But not only cleaning is the one thing, but I think the most important thing is to be aware that of your responsibility. And if you really, when we live in alignment with the nature, the true joy comes when you really align yourself with the mother nature. So I'm sure there are infinity explanation, and I'm not a scholar. To to explain in a very detailed way. But what I really feel, it's we somehow lost the connection with the mother nature, being from eco to ego. So my question for everyone is, may we all find a path to from ego into eco, and remember that we do have an ego. The ego is there. And there is a great teacher named Chogyam Trungpa. He was telling that ego you can also transform into determination or motivation. Without motivation we cannot also. Without motivation I wouldn't go live here. Without determination I wouldn't go live here. So need the determination, and that it can the ego can transform into something determination. And of time when we say determination from ego into determination and motivation, we also have to really understand that there are a couple of people I see in my life where you are very nice and environmental and all this thing, but you have anger towards the other people who are polluting it. But remember, what I'm really sharing with you is to hold, first of all, of course, to hold unconditional love within yourself, and practice in whatever way you can, hugging you, loving you, just saying, it's just blessing to have this body and everything, and also have that expand into many beings. Because what is a really interesting thing I have found is there are a lot of wonderful working people in the life. At the end, they end up being frustration in their life because they couldn't change the world. And I'm not asking to change the world. I'm asking to just question yourself, and also not to hate anyone, even your enemy. So yeah, well, every country have their own story and work. If you live in Nepal, I live and grow in Nepal, where the culture and the harmony are way more important than business. Whereas in the modern world, in the business, in the Western world, everything become a business. Everything become business. In the India, Nepal, the example of cow. A lot of time, cow is considered as a part of family, and you kind of drink milk from the cow. But if you look in the West, it's horrible. It is really, 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 we as a human being went extreme. Not only cow, but in the animal industry and many things, it went extreme. That's why somebody was telling me, if you want to see the example of failure, you can also give example of these modern countries who have only use things for a business, and miss the alignment of of uh, of of harmony with the nature. Example, when I talk about the harmony, it is very important to understand that we all coexist at the same time. And sometimes people say, oh, we're making this cow because of consuming milk and all that thing. But if you if you are really in the milk industry, if you really are drinking a milk, you should really know how does the milk come from. And there was a question, why you are talking bad about the Western countries. There is no West and East. There is only this ego, and that exists in many countries, and whether some countries more, some countries less. Some people are more, some people are less. So what I'm really talking about here is how we can really live in the harmony, and how did we miss the connection? How did we miss the connection with the harmony in the nature? And if we want to have an answer, I think so far the answer lies within yourself. Answer lies in the nature. If you go in the walk and take a moment of walking, then you can also find some answer. If you walk in the beach, if you walk in the elements like a river, if you take a walk, you will find some answer. And why do you need answer? Is because there are many things that are going on. The curious mind, and the harmony, it is very important, because as I said, if you have a children after us, they are the one who is going to live in this world. And if you don't have a children, we're still, there is a what do you call, we all are connected. So even if you don't have a children, we're all connected to each other. So saying this, I want to take a little moment of meditation to pay grateful and gratitude to the water, to the fire, to the air, to the earth, and to the space we all exist, and to all the enlightened beings, to all the masters of every tradition. Thanking for their guidance, to our parents, there is a saying that if you want to be happy in your life, start practicing gratitude. That is the fundamental, the key. And my wish for everyone into eco. There is a saying, like if in the Buddhism there is a saying, if there is a Buddha nature, which is enlightened nature, exists, there is also ignorance nature exists. So we all are pure in our ultimate nature, but at the same time we have been blocking that into ego. um, may we all find our path to uncover the ego and become a light that we all are in. And saying that, I want to wish everyone best for the life, and may we all find ego into ego into eco. And this is a prayer of removing the obstacles. May external obstacle remove externally, may internal obstacle remove internally, may all the obstacles be removed. May we connect to our internal heart, may we connect to our divine within, and thanking for all the beings who are with us on this path. Baje gonzel de lo do boja so wan de zo jingi lam do zo zena zo we baje ji wan da so ba lungi de bara jingi lo de zo zang ye guru de boje ngoi do kun da de wa jen boja baje gonzel de lo do boja so wan de zo jingi lam do zo Jina zangwe baje ziwan dan zamba lungi dubara jingi lo Chi barje jiru zol nangi barje nandu zol zangwe barje yanzo zangwe be jazo gyabsun jo ma hum bazan guru pema sidi May all the ego transform into ego. Mazu soto somaya manobalaya mazu soto denoba trishadito me baba sudo gaya me baba subo gaya me baba anulakta me baba sarva siddhi me prayasa sarva karma sutsa me chidam sri guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sarva tata gata basrama me munje basreba mahasamaya satwa om bazu soto om bazu soto om bazu soto om bazu soto om bazu soto. This ancient chanting have a certain frequency, certain vibration that is very uplifting, and I'm sure everyone have their own version of that. Everyone have their own version of chanting. So saying this, I wish you really best, and I wish also myself a best. I wish everyone best to uncover our divine nature, our eco nature from ego nature. And if you have any question, feel free to message me, comment here. I'll try to answer as much as possible. Saying that may you all have a wonderful, 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 wonderful time. Namaste.